But one thing you did mention is that with Chutes and Ladders, that there was an association affiliation with KoldCast. So you did manage. It sounds like you managed to get some sort of distribution, or can you talk about that? How did that come to be?
Yeah, we submitted it to sent an email to KoldCast, and they liked it. They put it online. They do a great job of, when a series launches, of doing marketing for it, putting it on their blog, spreading it through their social media. So we got a good amount of views and hits on it through KoldCast, and then we put it on Blip, and then after our first season ran, then we threw it on YouTube without much of a we didn't really try to drive any audience towards YouTube, but that's because we had already done it through KoldCast and through Blip.
And did you get out of KoldCast what you were hoping to start with?
I think so. I mean, it was new to us, so we didn't entirely know what the expectation was. It was just kind of like, oh, okay, cool. They want to have our show, and I think the blog that they have is one of the best things I think that sort of came out of that. Like, that was a really cool thing to see, to sort of they do a nice job of putting it up, but it's not just like, hey, this is our new web series. You actually write something about it. So I think the one that they wrote about us was about like the science of time travel or something like that, and so they'll link to a bunch of other things that aren't shows at all, just like other things on the web, and one of those things happens to be whatever show it is that they're promoting. And so it's like a cool article all on its own, and it definitely generates a lot of views. I mean, I think there was one day there was like 10,000 views, and like getting to see that. So I mean, that kind of stuff was cool. I think
so they do a great job of helping you launch, but just with any web series, regardless of what platform you're hosting it on, it's really up to the creators to drive people to that content, and that was the challenge we had. We were focused on finishing our episodes and not necessarily driving the people there, but it's regardless of the format, the creator has to drive that audience there, because they're not going to show up just because it's on a certain format, or just because it's on the web. And
I mean, is getting on KoldCast, is that a difficult thing? Like, I don't know much about the process. Like,
not really. Yeah, it's just an email. They want to know that you're going to have a full completed season. They have a baseline production value that they look for, which is just like crowdfunding, web series are continuing to get better each year, so that baseline is going up and up and up in terms of what's being produced as a web series. And I think all of the web series hosts are increasing that minimum threshold to but yeah, they're looking for quality content that will have multiple episodes, have a whole season arc.
Is there like a minimum episode number you have to have?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think it was a minimum episode, but I think they are all narrative though, right? I don't think they have any hosted series or any. Do they?
They do not.
Okay.
And then do they have a certain release schedule as well?
They did for season 1, yeah. Yeah,
and
so we did it every week.
It's like every week they release it at a certain time.
Every week, every Sunday they would go live.
Yeah.
And is there any monetization that comes with it, or is it just like literally just the exposure that you get out of it?
There's
some, but I mean, it's just like the same as it is with YouTube or any of the other platforms, where it's like, yeah, there is, but I mean, you'd have
it's going to take a whole lot of hits for it to be anything more than a cup of coffee.
And we've sort of had that conversation with other web series creators too, where it's like, at least right now, like, I mean, in the foreseeable future, there is a possibility of making a profit from it, but as it is right now, I mean, it's really, really difficult to make a profit from a web series, something that is put online for free for people to see, and so, and I guess as long as you know that going in, it totally works, because it's like you don't want to spend as much as you would on a feature if like what you're going to get out of it is $10 in views, So you just kind of have to be careful of like what your expectations are, and knowing that like just because you have something great, it's like you're not going to get millions and millions of views, and like that's not. I mean, I don't know if that's happened with any web series yet, but there are some really great ones out there, and some ones that are really worth watching for sure. And I think it is a new format that is growing, and there is potential there. But I don't know. It's just so new.